Hi everyone, thank you for being here today. We are standing at the edge of a seismic shift in global logistics, one that's being set in motion by what's being dubbed as TrumpLogistics. While tariffs continue to grab the headlines, with the latest being 245% tariff on China by the US, the real story runs deeper. It's not just trade restrictions, it's about a fundamental repositioning of global logistics power. In this episode of Logistically Speaking, this is exactly what we will be discussing. Historically, the US did not focus on developing its own shipping carriers or expanding its port to match global growth. As a result, major American shipping companies were acquired by foreign players. For example, Sealand, who was the largest container carrier in the world in 1980s, was absorbed by Maersk. APL, that is American President Lines, changed hands to NOL and later acquired by CMA. In the case of LCL consolidators, world's largest LCL company like Vanguard Logistics changed ownership to Egyptian and British company. Even firms like Econocarib and Carotrans have been sold off to companies in India and Australia respectively. The US port themselves also fell behind, with terminal capacity unable to handle vessels larger than 18,000 TEUs, that too only in West Coast, and in the East Coast only up to 14,000 TEUs vessel, whereas the new vessels in the world are above 20,000 TEUs capacity. To put it into perspective, it's like having an airport designed for Airbus 320 only, while the rest of the world is building runways for Airbus 380s. Furthermore, freight forwarding, a crucial part of global logistics, is now dominated by European and Chinese firms. Only two US headquarters players figure out in the list of top 20 global freight forwarders, that is Expeditors International and C.H. Robinson. So in a way, the world logistics is being controlled by German, Korean, Germany or UK and Chinese companies. The Trump administration hasn't just announced a new tariff regime, it has redrawn the global trade map with bold intent. What it calls Liberation Day may look like a protectionism at the surface, but underneath it reveals something far more strategic, a calculated move to reclaim logistics supremacy. This isn't just about raising duties. It's about rebuilding control over how goods move, control over where trade flows, and control over who dictate the future of global supply chains. All this started with a headline-making commitment that is $20 billion in US infrastructure investment by CMA CGM, who is one of the world's largest shipping giants. This is not just a capital investment, it's a clear message. The US no longer wants to be just world's biggest consumer. It wants to be the architect of global movement. But that's just the beginning. Recognizing this vulnerability, the Trump administration has taken steps to regain control over key maritime and shipping routes. The administration has applied strategic pressure on the Panama Canal, a vital artery of global trade, to bring it more firmly under the US influence. There is growing talk of military or territorial expansion near the Suez Canal, another key choke point. And even Greenland, once dismissed as a geopolitical oddity, is back in focus, not just for its resources, but this again is based on the strategic emergence of Arctic shipping route that will define future maritime corridors. I have talked about Arctic shipping route developments in the past, which I will put as a link in the description. Domestically, a significant transformation is underway in the US maritime and logistics sector. Shipbuilding is experiencing a revival, terminal capacities are being expanded, and for the first time in decades, the US is realigning its logistic infrastructure to match the scale of its economic footprint. One major proposed policy shift is the introduction of a $1 million berthing fee for foreign-built vessels docking at US ports. While US made only 5 vessels last year compared to approximately 1,800 ships being built by China, this fee would affect the vast majority of carriers given the scarcity of domestically built vessels. However, This move could incentivize shipping companies to consider building their fleets in the US, potentially kickstarting a new era of the American shipbuilding industry. Currently, over 50% of US container terminals are operated by foreign entities, including major players like DP World, Maersk, COSCO, PSA, CMA CGM, and MSC. New regulations and increased scrutiny are already being directed at Chinese and other foreign operators, with even tighter controls expected once these measures are formalized under 2025 Defense Authorization Act. These are not isolated moves, they are puzzle pieces forming a larger picture. It is the United States reclaiming control not just over what it buys, but how it moves, who moves it, and where the leverage lies. So, what does this mean for India's place in the new global trade order? The advantage of less tariff over other countries may give India some slight advantage in the short term, but lower tariff alone won't secure our position. The real advantage doesn't lie in policy, it lies in preparedness. Can we scale our ports to handle rising demand? Can we streamline inland transport and reduce logistic costs? Can we deliver the consistency and reliability what US buyers now seek urgently? These aren't just questions, they are the deciding factors on whether India rises to the occasion or fall behind. It is time we start optimizing our shipping strategies. Shipbuilding and terminal expansion need to be scaled up as per the moment demands. Because this moment right now is where India either rides the wave or misses the boat. We have the geography, we have the right opportunity, we have the digital advantage. But now we need to act on scaling up manufacturing, scaling up ports, build up capacity in moving the cargo. That means investing in our shipping lines with scale, strengthening multimodal logistics, scaling up port capacity, and building world-class warehousing infrastructure. TrumpLogistics is here, and make no mistake, this isn't just a policy. It's a power shift. It's a blueprint for control over trade routes, supply chains, and the future of global commerce. The question now is not just how the world will react, but who will adapt, who will capitalize, and who will be left behind. Well, thank you for joining us today. Stay informed, stay ahead, and we will see you next time.